For over 40 years, I've preached the Bible as a pastor across America and around the world. I've led in the work of the local church. I've been actively engaged in the political process in both our state and nation. The purpose of the church is to stand. I've stood alongside veterans and first responders. My heartbeat is revival, and I refuse to sit on the sidelines. So buckle up and let's tackle the issues, challenges, and opportunities facing your family and mine head on. Welcome to the podcast today. We're excited about being with you today. I have a guest today. In fact, I have my very best friend with me today. It's good to have my wife, and we're going to talk about marriage and family. And I'm going to tell my side. She's going to tell her side. And you're going to decide. No, we're going to have a good time today. We got married June 1987, and so we've been married 38 years. We have 5 children, 3 boys and 2 dramas. 4 of them are in ministry. The 3 boys were born first, and they all work here in the ministry of the church. Many of you have seen the boys, at least, on the television program on Saturday night that we've been doing a long time. And then our daughter, Leah, is in Minnesota. Her and her husband started the First Baptist Church of St. James, Minnesota, this past year. And then we have Laura, who is our baby, and she is in Bible college. Then we have 8 grandchildren. I can't let her tell you about the grandchildren because our time is limited. Our youngest is going on 3 months?
2 months.
2 months, born September
9th.
9/9, born 9/9. And then our oldest grandson is 13. JC just turned 13. And God's been mighty good to us, and we enjoy serving the Lord in a very fast-paced kind of a way, and we're excited to be here today and talk about keys to a happy marriage. We're going to talk about child rearing. I'm gonna begin by asking you some questions, all right?
Okay.
And that's how we're going to start. We have 5 children, 8 grandchildren. What are the most difficult ages of child rearing?
I would say at every age there are challenges,
Okay.
different challenges. When they're little, you kind of don't know what to do with them. Learning to take care of their physical needs and all that is difficult, and adjusting to having babies is always an eye-opening experience. And then as they grow, there's just different challenges. What age are we talking?
So is it easier to have toddlers or teenagers?
That's a good question. Toddlers get into everything, but teenagers can be good friends.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Gordon.
You sent me a meme, which is one of our fun things that we enjoy, exchanging funny memes. You sent me one not long ago that said the most difficult time in child rearing is the first 40 years.
Yes.
So we're still at it, and but it's been good. Music's been a big part of our family, and you are the musician. You know what you're doing anyway.
I grew up singing with my dad. He played the guitar, and Mom played the piano, and we just loved to sing in church and grew up around music, and we gave that to God at a certain point in our life when we started, being faithful to church. When I was probably around 12 or 13, and we had played music before then, but we gave that to the Lord and started playing for church, and we just loved it. As a matter of fact, that's kind of how we met. Is my dad and I played the guitar, and we would go when your dad would have revival meetings at their church.
Yeah.
In Hazard.
Yep. Dad was a pastor of Bible Baptist Church in Hazard from 1972 to 1985. Dad's been in heaven 40 years. Hard to believe it's been that long. But I was always excited when the state trooper Charles Cornett, came to church and brought his daughter. I think he had two brothers. I didn't pay much attention to them, but brought his daughter to sing, and you all sang together in church.
Yes, I loved playing and singing with Dad. We enjoyed that.
Yeah. Dad was a state trooper.
Yes, yes. And I remember, one thing that made a big impact on my life is, we were hit and miss with church. We would go. Dad had, of course, had a crazy schedule with the state police, and Mom went when she could. But I remember the day that they told me, we're going to be serious. We're not going to miss any services. We're going to make it a priority and, seek God first. And we're going to be at every service, Wednesday night, Sunday, and if there's anything in between. And that changed my life. And I think it's been something that, seek ye first the kingdom of God. It's been something that's helped me all through my life, is that God is first in music and everything.
Of course, the sounds of our home have always been you playing the piano, whether you were getting ready for an offertory in church or whether you was preparing for a cantata or playing in church. And so the kids sort of just grew up on the bench, either on your lap or beside you.
I appreciate you being patient with that, too, because sometimes a lot of piano will get on your nerves.
Well, it's good to be hard of hearing. There's some advantages of being hard of hearing and taking your hearing aids out now and again. But it's been good. All of our kids enjoy music.
Yes, we love to sing. I'm thankful that they enjoy it with me.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Here's a question. I've got a list of questions folks have asked about our family and child rearing. Did you allow cell phones? I'll let you answer that.
Oh, cell phones. My daughter was wanting a cell phone, and she was trying every way, I need one, I need a cell phone. She was probably, 14 or 15.
This was Leah?
I think it was Laura, the youngest,
okay.
The one that's still at home. And so I was like, no, let's wait, here, you can use my phone to play some games or whatever it is, and then give it back to me. And she said, well, Mom, how old were you when you got a cell phone? And I thought back, and I was probably 32 or 33.
Because they didn't have cell phones.
She didn't like that answer. Yeah. So, cell phones are dangerous, and we've always collected them at night.
Yep.
We let them have them, and then they put them in their room at night. But now it's just hard to monitor because there's watches, there's computers, there's just so many things. They are dangerous for a kid to have unlimited access to that. It
is dangerous, and I do warn folks publicly, privately, counseling and preaching about the unlimited use of cell phones. One of the rules we had, as she mentioned, they would bring their cell phones and computers, iPads, whatever they had that would go online. And we sort of had a charging station over there beside the bed in our room, and they would plug those up, and still do. They still do, and we share the same password. We have Life 360, so we can keep track of one another, where they are, where we are, and they keep track of us about like we keep track of them.
That's true.
What about teaching the kids to drive? How did we? Who taught the kids to drive? Did I teach the boys?
Not me. That's scary. The oldest son took driver's classes.
Yeah.
And that was nice. And then he taught the next one. And I think
he did, didn't he? Joel helped us in teaching. Our children are 5 years apart. Joel is how old?
36.
36. October he was 36, and Jeremy's about 31. John's about 26, and Leah's about 22 or 3, and 18. So
Close.
Joel did help us with teaching them how to drive. The boys had a car that they sort of handed down. It was pretty worn out by the time it got to Leah, so Leah got a little better car because we didn't want her to be broke down. Yeah. What about cooking? The question is, do you like to cook? She's an excellent cook. Sunday meals are excellent, and our eating schedule, because, and I'll talk about schedule next, but our eating schedule is she always cooks a big lunch on Sunday, always delicious, and always something different, it seems like. And then after church Sunday night, we always have some kind of a snack. We might go get tacos or pizza or something like that. And then you cook on a Wednesday afternoon when I get home from traveling. We eat together Thursday evening, Friday evening, Saturday, and Sunday. So I don't know what your favorite meal to cook is.
When the kids were home, I cooked more than I do
yeah.
now. I cooked every night, but when you travel on Monday and Tuesday, I get a little lazy. I don't cook as much. But
kids eat free Tuesday night somewhere, right?
Yeah, they did at Ruby Tuesdays for a few years. But yeah, I enjoy cooking, and my daughters, they love to cook, so I let them cook and I'll wash the dishes.
Yeah, I like to cook, but I make big messes. They limit my cooking to outside fixing meat and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I have to cook because he doesn't like onions, so that's hard to cook.
So they ate onions and crazy things on Monday and Tuesday evening.
While you're gone.
Let's talk about schedule a bit.
Sure.
Quite a few questions about schedule. Our typical schedule, my schedule is I left sometime on Monday morning. I try to leave as late as I can, going somewhere to preach every Monday and Tuesday evening. I try to get back as early as I can after preaching on Tuesday. If I'm close enough, I drive home. Many a night, I got home 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm home. And so we have that schedule. Our schedule was basically family devotions. Everybody got ready for school, family devotions every morning. That was probably a 15-minute time where I read Scripture. Read Proverbs a lot, the proverb of the day. I read Psalms. We read the Ten Commandments over and over and over again, some of those passages like that. And then we would have prayer. We would pray for the specific needs. What about homework? You did a lot of homework help, maybe more than I did. I enjoyed the math part.
Yeah, I like math. I enjoyed helping them study. Mostly that's what I did. I try to think of easy things for them to remember, questions on a test coming up or something like that.
I enjoyed history. I enjoy laughing, and I would say silly things to try to help them to remember what the answer was.
Yeah.
I would guess something. I would say something outlandish, and they would say, "No, Dad, it's this." And so, anyway, I had fun whether they learned or not. They all did decent
Pretty
grades.
good.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Laura makes really good grades, or has made good grades through high school
so
and
far.
then to college so far. We have lived in 5 different places.
Yeah, when we first got married, we lived in, I think it was 2 Sunday school rooms combined over the church. Where
We
you
made
pastored.
a little apartment out of that.
He pastored 1 year before we got married. And so we had a little apartment over there, and I said I was doing the tiny living thing before it was even cool.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Almost off the grid, but it was a tiny living for sure.
But we were happy.
We were.
We were.
And then we bought a really nice double-wide trailer, and boy, we were doing good.
Yes. It was very nice.
Yeah.
I didn't want to leave that one.
No.
But the Lord called us to Lexington.
Yeah.
And so
In 2000, I'm sorry, not in 2000, in 1991.
We moved to Lexington and lived in the parsonage for a while, and that was really nice.
When we lived in the parsonage, Jeremy was born while we lived in the parsonage. Mm-hmm. And John?
At our other house.
Okay, we bought another house, and then we built the house we live in 2000, and moved in it the night Leah was born. That was a fun adventure. I remember, I was trying to find you, and found you in the closet sitting on a paint bucket. And you said, "I've got to go to the hospital." And I said, "Well, let me take a nap." And you said, "No, I've got to go." And anyway, we hustled down there, and she was born pretty quick.
Pretty quick.
February 2001. How do you deal with that busy schedule all the time?
That's a good question. I think I just do the next thing, and the Lord helps me to just do the next thing. It's pretty busy, pretty crazy. People have a lot of things, a lot of needs, and you stay busy. So.
Yep. This is middle of November, toward 21st of November. October, November, we've had a retreat, wedding, or funeral every Friday, Saturday.
Yes, there are times when it gets pretty busy.
Pretty hectic. And we look forward to Thanksgiving. That's coming up this week.
Yes. Looking forward to going home and going to the mountains.
We always go to the mountains on Thanksgiving Day, and my mother-in-law, y'all pray for me. I go down there we go there on Thursday, and then my mom this year will have Thanksgiving on Saturday. And we'll have time together at home on Friday, and we will enjoy that. What about vacations? And I'm going to talk about child rearing in the last segment.
Okay.
What about vacations? What's been your fondest memory or places that you've enjoyed vacations?
I think we take small vacations. We'll get away for 2 or 3 days more often than to take larger vacations. Yeah. And some people won't even know that we'll leave early Monday morning, get back Wednesday, something like that for a quick trip. We love to go to Pigeon Forge, but we like to look forward to it. We spend a month looking forward to vacation and what we're going to do and what we're going to see and get all excited about it. Then we have our vacation, and then we talk about how wonderful it was.
Take pictures
it makes it last.
And then look back.
Make it last, yes.
What about what's your favorite restaurant? I don't really know. A favorite restaurant. I travel and eat out too much, and so my favorite place is to be at home.
I don't think I have a favorite.
Yeah. Yeah. We like chicken for a while, we like tacos for a while, and then hamburgers for a while, and that. Let me talk about child rearing. I wrote this book several years ago, How to Be Close to Your Children. I'll hold it right there so you can see that. And I've often said about this book, How to Be Close to Your Children, there's a difference in loving your children and being close to your children. There are many folks, sadly, that they love their children, but they're not close. And so I put this together when our boys even were young, and I made a note of 13 things that I think that we learned from our parents that we wanted to teach our children. You can order this book on my website, jefffugate.com. Maybe it's drjefffugate.com, but if you type in this book and my name, you'll see it and see how to order it. My favorite picture in all the world is that picture, and that is a picture of my dad and hundreds of young people that rode the buses to Bible Baptist Church in Hazard, and not just the young people, but adults as well. And so we were close to our parents. One of the things I loved about Michelle was how much she loved her mom and dad, and how close she was to her dad. And they sang together. They were just obviously close and loved one another, and I loved them. And Charlie went to heaven 2010, and I had a great admiration and respect for him. I'll read through these things, and these are the child-rearing things that we've worked to emphasize and then teach others. First of all, how to love your children. And I've a tendency to preach all these, and I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tell you what they are. Family devotions has always been important. You had family devotions growing up?
We had family devotions at night, and Dad would read the Bible to us, but it was late, kind of. Sometimes when he'd get home, and I'm not a night person, I would be so tired. But I do remember that was important. We would sit around the table after we would eat at every meal, and we would talk and talk. And that was a wonderful part of growing up. And then I always had memories of Mom sitting and reading the Bible. When I would leave for school, she'd have her Bible out and be reading and taking notes, and that's a wonderful memory for kids to have.
It is, family devotions. And even if they don't learn what you're reading or understand what you're reading, they will remember. Mom and Dad read the Bible, Mom and Dad prayed, and we all gathered around. Third of all was the will of God, a surrender to the will of God, that God has a will for our lives, and it's important to surrender to that. Number 4 is a difficult one, but it's a part of life. How do you deal with accusations against your children, and trying to assess and deal with that honestly and learning from those. Number 5 was gain respect from your children, how to earn respect. The opposite of provoking. The Bible says, provoke not your children to wrath. And then number 6 is growing closer together through problems, letting the challenges and problems of life bring you closer together. How to be close to your children through activities. We had annual activities. For example, your family went fishing in Tennessee, so we sort of followed that.
Yes, we had some cabins down by the lake in Tennessee, and we would go there and fish. And
I started going when we were dating.
That's true. You came one time when we were dating,
Yeah.
and then we've continued to go there and fish together, and the grandkids love to fish now. And
Yeah. So activities helped us to be close together. How to be a friend. Here's one we got really close on, getting closer through discipline. I've often said boys are like canoes. They go best when paddled from the rear. And but discipline, and then...
That's a good chapter. I learned a lot about discipline from you and your family, and I feel like it's a very good approach. You pray with them, and it's very calm. But they get a spanking, but it was very, very controlled and very calm.
It is important. Children need to know what they've done wrong. They need to know what rule they've broken, that they've been disobedient. They need to get a controlled spanking,
Right.
whether it's 3, 4, or 5 licks. I've often said boys get hurt worse playing than they do with some of the discipline that they get.
Yeah.
And then after that is over, to talk to them and have prayer with them and try to learn a lesson. Discipline is not a time of anger, screaming, and
No,
yelling.
that is abuse when you scream at a child
is.
and slap it. That is abuse.
It is.
But proper discipline is not. It's loving your child.
A lot of times we've had some really good fellowship after discipline, and
Yes.
it's tough, but God does us the same way.
Yeah, it's in the Bible.
It's in the Bible, and it works. And it works. Well, it's been good to be with you. I can't believe all the time has come and gone so fast. Love your spouse. Love your children. Rear them in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. Get them in church. Get them involved in as many activities as you can, places of service, places of fun, place of activity. Build their character. So important. Build your marriage. The important aspects of marriage, it begins with good communication, lots of communication, to be able to share your heart, to be able to share your feelings, your hurts, your disagreements, your disappointments, and do those in a way that you can come to an enjoyable end.
Right. I like to say that we talk about everything. Wives are to be submissive to their husbands, but we talk about everything, and I think if it's done at the right time, right place, and with the right spirit, we discuss everything and work together.
Yeah. That's why today's been fun, and the time's come and gone. Thank you so much. If you watch by way of Facebook, you can share the program, multiply the opportunity for folks to see and hear the podcast. And, of course, this podcast is seen on most every podcast platform, and so we appreciate you being with us today. Have a great day and have a happy Thanksgiving.